Economists say they aren't too surprised by the budget cuts. Educators say it's ironic that a governor who wants Minnesota to become the brainpower state supports budget cuts in the schools. For the Eyewitness News Update, I'm Catherine Smith.
Well, then, people who invent things usually want to make money selling them, don't they?
Yes, they do. And Stan, there are companies that promise to help people do just that. But something went wrong when two local inventors got involved with a company in Washington. They called Neil Murray for help, and he'll join us next with the story.
Top growers depend on Counter for superior control of more major corn pests. And for maximum performance, put your insecticide where it works hardest, in furrow. It can't be blown away by wind during application, so you put all of your insecticide to work, in the soil, where it can't be deflected by crop residue or washed away by rain. For superior performance and value, put your money where your crop is, in furrow. Counter.
It lurks in homes like this, striking fear in the hearts of millions. And this year, if you're not careful, you might come face to face with it yourself. The wrong paint. Next time, get the right paint, one that always goes on smoothly in one coat. Glidden Spread Wall, on sale now for only $5.99. Glidden. Your paint should be this good.
Take the Boat Show Cure for the January blogs. You'll feel spring breezes and hear the water lapping when you see the latest cruisers, runabouts, pontoons, fishing boats, canoes, and sailboats, big and small, plus motors, lifts, docks, and accessories. Come on aboard. Get cured. If it floats, you can buy it at the Boat Show. Minneapolis Auditorium, January 22nd through the 26th.
It was last night that Neil Murray, on your behalf, showed us two local inventors who responded to a corporation based out in Washington, D.C.
They wanted to know, Stan, what happened to their money and also to their inventions. So they contacted Neil Murray on your behalf, and he is here now with part 2 of this exclusive report.
Yes, Ruth. Last night we promised you proof that American Patent Research Corporation operated illegally here in Minnesota. And we'll show you that, but first, resolutions for the two inventors who initially contacted on your behalf. Last night, we showed you Fred Hall's invention. He developed a character named Puckman, sort of a spin-off of Pac-Man. We also showed you Charles Kovyal's negative viewer, a device to help you look at negatives. Each man paid about $800 to American Patent Research Corporation based in Washington, D.C. Both men expected to receive serious help in marketing their inventions. Both were disappointed, so they wrote to on your behalf. We called American Patent Research Corporation about these complaints and to ask them what their clients should expect for their money. They refused to answer questions on the telephone, and they refused to face the On Your Behalf camera. They instead had a law firm write threatening letters to the On Your Behalf office. Recently, American Patent Research Corporation sent refunds of $775 to Fred Hall and $875 to Charles Kovyal.
I got my check. Now my worries is over with.
American Patent Research Corporation had good reason for returning Charles and Fred's money. Why? Because they have been operating illegally here in the state of Minnesota.
Under Minnesota law, a patent development or invention development company has to post a bond to protect any customers it has in the state of Minnesota. American Patent Research Company has never posted a bond in Minnesota. Therefore, any customers that it has signed up here would be entitled to a full refund from the company if that's what they would like.
That comes as a sigh of relief for Jeffrey Stickney. He saw our presentation last night and decided it's time to make his complaint public. This is his invention. He calls it the hat.
Okay, what this hat does is that you put your favorite beverage on each side, you put the straw in each container, you draw through this straw on a siphon basis that goes through the crazy straw into your mouth.
Jeffrey saw TV commercials for American Patent Research Corporation in 1984. He called them. They eventually asked him to send one of his hats and $850. He did.
What they told me they'd do, they would find a manufacturer and put the product out on the market for him.
For his money, Jeffrey received brochures, a drawing, and another request for $3,000. Jeffrey paid that too. American Patent Research Corporation then asked him for more money.
They wanted $995, and then on 10-1 of 85, they wanted $2,000. And at this point, when I sent them it, they told me that they'd have a patent pending within 2 to 4 months, which I've never heard from them. Last time I talked to them, they asked for more money, and that's when I decided that something ain't right with it. I'm not going to send them any more money. I'm not getting nothing. They keep telling me 2 to 4 months, 2 to 4 months for patent pendings. Now, at this point in time, there's other hats on the market.
Tomorrow night, we'll talk with a local, reputable patent expert who will evaluate what American Patent Research Corporation is doing for local inventors.
Yeah, we've got to know, you know, I've had ideas before for things. I thought that would be good. And
Don't do
I never
anything
know what
until
to
after
do.
tomorrow, so you'll know what to do. Don't do what
Have you ever
some of
had
these
an
people
idea
do.
like that?
I've had an idea, yeah, like something like a tomato repair kit, in case you ever heard of a tomato.
What was it? A flywheel for a hen house?
I tried that too. I'm going nowhere with those things, right?
Thank you, Neil.
Thanks, Neil. Okay, Dennis Feltgen's forecast really ought to make folks building that ice palace mighty happy tonight. We'll have his forecast in just a few minutes. But next, an incredible story of survival, one we told you about last weekend. Tonight, we have an update.
And then later on, when we take 5, an update on a big expedition to the North Pole. Jason Davis tells us of a training session, and we're going to have a live report on a winter break that everybody deserves, the Winter Carnival.
All of us here at Towsley Ford celebrate the opening of our new Subaru dealership just 3 blocks away at Highway 694 and 61. Now, we've put sale prices on every car and truck through the end of the month. Over 300 go-in-the-snow 4-wheel drives, hundreds of front-wheel drives, Subarus and Fords, in all over 1,000 cars and trucks to choose from, many with 7.9 APR financing. Come celebrate with us and get a sale price on the car or truck you want at Towsley Ford and Towsley Subaru, White Bear Lake.
More and more corn growers are switching to Eradicane herbicide. Not for problem grasses. They're using Eradicane on annual grasses in place of dual or lasso. Listen.
I switched and saved. Eradicane gave me better control for $13.20 an acre.
Yeah, I switched and saved. Eradicane cost me about $11 an acre.
Yeah, I switched. Eradicane gave me clean fields for about $13 an acre.
I switched to Eradicane for my tough grasses, then used it at a lower rate on all my corn ground.
Really?
Yeah, it gave better control for less than $14 an acre.
Eradicane users are getting better control for a much better price. It's a fact. At annual grass rates, Eradicane can save you $2, $3, even more on every acre. Can you switch and save? See your dealer. Your savings could vary, but Eradicane will be dollars less than dual or lasso.
He's right. I switched and saved.
We have an update now on a remarkable story that we told you about last weekend. Ora Ard, the woman whose child was delivered by cesarean section after her uterus ruptured, will be leaving the hospital tomorrow. When surgeons operated, they found Ard's son, Anton, floating freely in her abdomen. 4-pound Anton is doing well tonight. He should be able to leave the hospital in about 10 days. Mother and child are believed to be the first anywhere to both survive a rupture of the uterus. Boy, that's a nice ending to a nice story. Yeah.
I still can't get over this. I don't know if you saw us at 5 or 6, but 5 o'clock we heard from Jason Davis up in the Northwest
Oh,
Territories.
my gosh.
Would you believe a wind chill of, ta-da?
That was hard to believe.
100 below wind chill.
Yeah, that's
folks.
as cold as
the
they
truth.
get. All right, I want you two guys to think of something here. All right, you're sitting in Montana. You're in the Montana mountains.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. Just use your imagination. All right. You're getting lots of energy. You're itching to move on, and you want to head out of there. Yeah. And what do? Which direction do you go?
Ruth, what do you do?
South.
All right. Well, all we would have to do is look through a couple of road maps and figure out which is the best way. Maybe east, maybe south. Now, you see, it's easy for us. We just have to figure out how much gas is in the car. Now, nature is going to go any darn way it pleases. Well, there's a storm on the map tonight which can't figure out which way to go. And its direction is really going to affect our weather. There's 2 computer tracks. Number 1 is the old Panhandle Hook. That's the one where it goes down to the Oklahoma-Texas Panhandle, moves on towards Chicago, and if it does that, the general snow area would be to our east, and we just get grazed with some light snow or some flurries. But there's another computer model which says, hey, let's take a more northerly track. If that happens, the general area of snow will be right over us, probably 2 to 5 inches. Well, if you were with us at 6 o'clock, we were leaning towards the southerly track, but now we're leaning more towards the northerly track. This snow will be very similar, if it happens, to the one we had last Tuesday night, a dusting of 2 to 5 inches of snow. Look at the satellite loop for tonight, and you'll see what I mean. The satellite pictures out to the west show the big cloud mass. Now, this is from that Pacific storm which came in across the northwest late last night and early this morning with 80-mile-per-hour winds in parts of California and Oregon. And the energy, you see, isn't going in the south, it's moving straight to the east. So it looks like a shot of snow is coming our way. And the warm air ahead of it is actually sending the thermometer up. We're as warm now as we've been all day. The temperature at 10 o'clock is 24 degrees, dew point 15, humidity 68%. The wind right now is southeast at 17, creating a wind chill of 2 below. Pressure is starting to fall rather rapidly, and we are overcast. In the almanac, the high so far is the current reading of 24. That's 4 degrees above normal. The low last night, that was 2 degrees, and that's exactly what it's supposed to be for this time of the year. Well, high temperatures today across the country show we had a little pocket of cool air break off from all that cored up Canadian air, and it just drifted right across Minnesota today, sending the thermometer near or about what it's supposed to be for this time of the year. Heat's building in the southwest, a record 80 degrees today in Tucson, Arizona, and that warmth is ahead of the low. So where is the low? Well, the map right now still shows it way up in Montana, but a little secondary low is trying to form in Colorado. But I think the main energy from the storm is going to stay concentrated in this area and gradually move on to the east. Now, we showed you the clouds moving ahead of this. There's something falling from those clouds. KSTP's color radar is showing a band of light snow, but that's aloft. In other words, it's up in the sky, but it's not making it to the ground. However, out to the west on the Weather Service radar from Huron, South Dakota, this is making it to the ground, and this is a mixture of snow and freezing rain, which is moving on towards the east. So it's possible we could have some freezing rain tomorrow as well. The weather map for tomorrow assumes the northerly track right now and puts the low in Nebraska. If that happens, there'll be rain to our south and the general area of snow, possibly mixed with freezing rain during the day tomorrow. General area of 2 to 5 inches by the time it's all over Saturday morning. Temperatures tomorrow in the 20s. The forecast for tonight in detail calls for cloudy skies. It'll be breezy. Good chance of snow towards morning. Temperatures holding steady from the mid-20s. And for tomorrow, cloudy, breezy, snow is likely, maybe some freezing rain in there, some accumulations of a couple inches, highs of 25 to 31. And for tomorrow night, periods of snow, lows of 15 to 20. Saturday, tapering to light snow or flurries, highs of 22 to 27. Looking ahead, partly cloudy skies on Super Bowl Sunday and cold, but partly cloudy to partly sunny for the first of the week. Temperatures in the 20s. Can you find the road map to Florida in here?
To Florida? Yeah, I think I can help you out.
You should know the way by heart, Dennis.
Forget that.
Yeah, okay.
Well, you know, we're all hoping, aren't we, that we have really good weather for this coming Saturday for the Grand Day Winter Carnival Parade, downtown St. Paul. All of us, a lot of us here, a slug of us, a slew of us here at Channel 5 will be in that parade, complete with our down jackets and our long underwear. The parade gets underway at 1 o'clock in downtown St. Paul. Let's all be there, shall
I'm going to have my electric mittens, my electric socks.
And other unmentionables.
Other electric things.
Okay.
Coming up next in sports, some controversy surrounding Chicago Bears quarterback Jim McMahon.
Yeah, what's new? The North Stars tee it up against Montreal, and the Gopher basketball team squeaks one out in Madison. Bob Bruce has it all next on Eyewitness Sports.
For superior soybean weed control that costs up to $7 per acre less than Lasso or Dual, Sonolan. So flexible you can soil mix it in 1 tillage pass or 2. So weatherproof it works if it rains too much or too little. So effective it controls tough weeds, even helps fight nightshade clear through harvest. And yet it won't carry over to injure next year's corn, milo, or wheat. Yes, soybeans and Sonolan. They're made for each other.
AT&T wants you to think they're different from MCI. But with MCI's Dial 1 long-distance service, you call the same way to the same places, coast to coast, get immediate credit for wrong numbers, and the same clear connections as AT&T. And, oh, MCI saves you money. Maybe that's the difference that AT&T was talking about.
When asked to choose a long-distance company for your home or business, choose MCI.
7.9% GMAC financing. Now at your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers. Hot savings on hot Pontiacs. Not just on 1 or 2 models, but on all these new 86 Pontiacs. Mid-engine Fieros, world-class Pontiac 6000s, front-wheel drive Sunbirds, luxurious Grand Prix, family-size Bonnevilles. Save up to $1,700 or more with 7.9% financing now. A limited-time offer, so hurry. Get hot savings on hot Pontiacs. Get 7.9% financing at your Greater Metropolitan Pontiac dealers.
Best Buy Company's warehouse is full, too full from slow-moving inventory and excess stereos, TVs, and appliances. Meanwhile, shipments keep arriving. The warehouse staff is exhausted. Tensions are running high. Finally, the decision is made. A warehouse sale. But with no room in the warehouse, there was only one option. Ship all the gear out to the stores. The incredible warehouse sale at Best Buy Company superstores. Handle it with care.
Well, Bob Bruce is out at Met Center where the North Stars took on the Canadians tonight.
Yep, Bobby Smith. Did he help do us in, Bob?
Well, yeah, you know, it's not that the North Stars played that poorly tonight. They just didn't play good enough to beat a very good Montreal Canadian hockey team. Final score out here, 5-2. That's the third loss in a row for the North Stars. They've got to turn that around and turn it around quickly. Once again, the Stars, as they have in the past couple of games, fell behind early, trailing 1-0, but Neil Broughton shows why he's a North Star. The pass to Broughton, what a backhand, puts it in. The game is tied 1-1. Second period now, Montreal retook the lead, but watch this goal closely because Tom McCarthy will shoot, and what a deflection in by Brian Bellows right there. Tied the game 2-2, but after that, Montreal really took control of the game. Some nice passing on this one. Watch as Matt Snoslin is set up nicely. Montreal 3, the Stars 2. The Canadians scored twice in the third period. They go on to win it by a score of 5-2, and as I said, it's their third loss in a row, something to be deeply concerned about. For more on tonight's game, let's go down to the Stars locker room and Channel 5's Rob Lear. Rob?
Bob, it has been a roller coaster of a hockey season right here for the North Stars. And Kurt Giles, how do you explain it from so good to so bad?
Well, the thing is, you know, we started out all right. We played a pretty good game, and all of a sudden, you know, the Canadians capitalized on a few mistakes. And once you fall behind a good team like that, they just, you know, kind of take over, and you're in trouble.
When this team was winning, it was quick to credit the defense. Yet the last two games, the club has given up 12 goals. Defensively, have there been some breakdowns?
We have had a little bit of trouble, you know. Like I say, defensively is not defensemen and goalies only. It's a team effort, and you know, we had a little bit of trouble. You know, we go into Washington the first 7 minutes of the game, it's 4-0, and after that, it's a good hockey game. But you know, we came out, we were flat, we weren't ready for the game, and that happens. That would happen in that game. Tonight we came out, we were ready to play the game, and played pretty well. And you know, we made a few errors, and they capitalized on them.
I know you got a couple games left in this homestand. Best of luck to you. Kurt Giles, Bob, let's go back upstairs.
Okay, thanks, Rob. Let's bring you up to date on the other scores from the National Hockey League tonight. St. Louis losing to Los Angeles in the first period. Hartford beat Toronto. Boston over Winnipeg. Philadelphia beat Detroit 5-2, and Quebec over the Rangers 4-0. While the North Stars were at home tonight, the Minnesota Gopher basketball team played on the road at Wisconsin, and the news is good. Out of Madison, yes. The Gophers beat the Wisconsin Badgers, but just barely, 67-65. Minnesota led by 2 at the half, opened up a 12-point lead early in the second half. Number 33, Kevin Smith. Move in there, Kevin. 15 points tonight for him, but the Gophers suddenly went cold, and the Badgers staged a big comeback. Rick Olsen, what a bomb from the corner, as Olsen finished with 20 points. Wisconsin led by 6 with less than 2 minutes to go, but then number 24, Mark Wilson, went to work. Great move coming up by Mark. Wilson hit 6 of the Gophers' last 9 points. Then in the closing seconds, the Gophers with a chance to win the game. Todd Alexander, watch this, will put up a brick from the corner, but he follows his shot, puts it back up, scores. That was the winning basket at the buzzer. Minnesota wins its first road game of the year. Minnesota 67, Wisconsin 65. Maybe they'll break that drought on the road. Other games, look at this upset tonight. Indiana beat number 15 Purdue 71-70. Iowa beat Northwestern quite easily, and Illinois over Ohio State 67-65. Well, the acupuncture affair has quieted down a little bit, but Chicago Bears quarterback Jim McMahon is still at the point of controversy again today. This time he needed some needling. He got some needling from some women in New Orleans who were upset about something that he was supposed to have said. Now, the whole thing started this morning when a New Orleans television station ran a report saying that McMahon had used a disparaging word when referring to the women of that city. McMahon denied the remark, calling it simply ridiculous.
Somebody claimed they saw me yesterday morning at 6 doing an interview with somebody. And
6 in the morning?
No, you guys know I don't get up that damn early, for one thing. But he claims he overheard me saying, you know, I called, I guess, the women of New Orleans sluts, which is totally off the wall. I wasn't there for one thing. I didn't say it for another. You know, New Orleans has been good to me. I've had fun.
Well, the TV station later retracted the report and apologized, but that didn't stop about 20 women from staging a protest outside McMahon's hotel. Well, that's what happens during Super Bowl week. North Stars lose tonight 5-2. They host Washington here at the Met on Saturday. Crucial game for them now because they've lost 3 in a row. They've got to get back on the right track.
Yeah, their hot streak is definitely over, I'd say.
Yeah. Can Jim McMahon say that word on TV? I don't think he can say that.
He
can
just
Bob?
did.
Did he? I'll be darned, he did it. Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
You can smile again. Okay, Ruth.
Yeah. We have been telling you about a polar expedition that's going to begin very soon, and it's going to be led by a Minnesotan. And next, when we take 5, we'll get an update on some Arctic training for the sled dog team from Jason Davis.
And Debbie Emblum on what's been shaking with the Winter Carnival today. She'll join us live from St. Paul. Please stay with us.
You know, there's not many guarantees when it comes to farming. But hold on now. When it comes to corn, there is one guarantee. from Lasso and pre-mixed Lasso and atrazine, the extra yield guarantee program. No other herbicides offer the extra yield guarantee. Now, when you got a choice between herbicides that guarantee extra yield and ones that don't, I can guarantee which ones I'll choose. How about you?
Circulate heat and save big money with a ceiling fan from Menards. A ceiling fan draws warm air down to help cut winter heat bills. Menards has ceiling fans for every home on sale now, including spinners and ceiling huggers for lower ceilings. This beautiful oak ceiling fan has 42-inch blades, a 3-speed reversing motor, and it's light adaptable. On sale now for just $49. Warm up to good old-fashioned value with a ceiling fan on sale now at Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Where in the world would you go to breakfast in France? Do a little shopping in the Casbah? And have dinner in Japan? Where would you go to hula in Hawaii one night and be on Broadway the next? To go for the green and sail off into the blue. Where would you go? Florida, to be together at the world's greatest resort, Walt Disney World. Surprised?
Those St. Paul Winter Carnival festivities are really heating up. All-day celebrations took place in St. Paul, including the lighting of not just one, but two St. Paul parks tonight, a beautiful sight. Debbie Emblem joins us now live from where else? The Ice Palace. Debbie, how about a rundown on the festivities?
All right, Stan, here goes. Well, first there was a centennial birthday party at Galtier Plaza. Ruth looked like she was having a great time earlier. The Winter Carnival Royal Court party presided over the whole event, and workers continue to build the Ice Palace all day, which is behind me. And it's really taking shape. It now stands about 42 feet high. It's probably becoming higher than that. And downtown St. Paul, two breathtaking events took place.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The countdown ended and Rice Park lit up the sky. The landmark center glowed, and so did officials of the Winter Carnival. Ice sculptures shimmered, and the moon cast an added spotlight on the park. This little guy hardly noticed the festivities, so absorbed in, whoops, skating. The Vulcans took off in their fire engine and traveled to Mears Park, 6 blocks away. This is now their headquarters. And with a flip of a switch, Mears Park turned from darkness to a lit-up Vulcan den. So take your pick. Both downtown St. Paul parks are illuminated for the festivities.
Yo, watch out, guys. I'm going to get you tonight. Oh, you hear me? Me old Vulcan. Yes, everybody.
He really isn't a real Vulcan, believe it or not, but I'm sure with a bunch of real Vulcans. In fact, these are the outgoing ones, 1985 Vulcans. And this is your last night.
That's correct. It is.
But you guys are, I noticed you're having a wild time nonetheless, right?
We're having a great time.
And your goal in life, you guys, your goal in life is what?
To stay warm.
Oh. All right, I'm going to stay warm with them all. That's why they're here. Back to you, Stan. Ruth.
Debbie, I don't happen to see that telltale V, that greasy smooch on you.
Oh, don't. They'll get a bad idea. Don't even think about it.
I'm sorry. It happened, Ruth. It happened to you earlier.
Yes, it did.
All right, Debbie.
Yeah, it did. I had a big V here, and I got it off.
Right, good.
For the last several months, we've been telling you about an upcoming expedition to the North Pole, and right now, Will Steger and his sled dog team are in the far north of the Canadian Eastern Arctic. They're in training, and Jason Davis is with them. Here's Jason now on the telephone with a report.
Frobisher Bay on Baffin Island can only be reached by air. It's 1,800 miles north-northeast from Minneapolis-St. Paul and 1,600 miles south of the North Pole. The terrain is not unlike that which the polar expedition encountered last year in the western part of the Canadian Arctic. They expect to train here as they trained there. This time, though, the dogs will have to pull the huge sleds across the broken sea ice for miles, day after day. But this still isn't the real thing. The whole team, led by Will Steger and Paul Shirkey of Ely, Minnesota, will face the true test in early March. It's only 500 miles from their jumping-off point to the North Pole, but they expect the perilous journey to take at least 50 days. Local people here in the Canadian Arctic have seen many hopeful and ill-fated polar expeditions come through their area. They are extremely skeptical about the chances of success for even such a well-prepared expedition as this. Jason Davis, Channel 5 Eyewitness News in Frobisher Bay in the Northwest Territories of Canada.
And Jason will bring us exclusive coverage of this historic expedition as it unfolds.
Okay, that's about it. We're just about out of time. Dennis says a couple of inches of snow is on the way. Okay, take care. Thank you and good night.
Good night.
Lou Grant on Channel 5. You'll love it.